the number one thing about the dollar is that it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous, the US dollar. Every but like 10 countries use the dollar as if it were their own. It is so used that over 90% of all transactions done in the world every single day are done in US dollars. When I've been to South America and I went to the ATM with my TD Bank debit card and I took out cash in US dollars in three separate ATMs in 2 different countries. Each time dollars. There was one time when I went to Costa Rica and, one of the times I went to the ATM, US dollars. The other time it was colones, which is the currency over there in Costa Rica. But you go to the bar, they take dollars. You go to the restaurants, they take dollars. Went to Ecuador. Went to Guayaquil. They took dollars. Went to Panama. They took dollars. Costa Rica, dollars. I watched a YouTube video of this English guy crossing the border from like Guatemala all the way up to America for content, I guess. Great video. If you ever come across that, like, watch it. The guy he's entertaining. He had to get across a river, and he paid like this. I guess he's a smuggler because it was an illegal border crossing. Like, the border was the river, and he gave him $20 US dollars. An English guy gave a Guatemalan dude $20 US dollars. And the number one thing everybody always says when I bring up the idea that the US dollar is ubiquitous, it is the number one currency, it is the world reserve currency, everybody always says nobody trusts the dollar and everybody's gonna get out. Nobody's ever trusted the dollar. The dollar is the bad currency. The dollar, like, it was Gresham's law in action in the 70s when the dollar pushed out gold. Because Gresham's law is just that bad money drives out good. Or it's Tyr's law. I don't know. I confuse the two a lot because they're the same thing, just backwards. Nobody's ever trusted the dollar. So in the 70s, when the United States was lending out all these dollar bills, taking in gold and saying, like, we'll hold the gold or whatever, everybody eventually, like all these other countries, wanted their money, their real money, right? Gold. They wanted their gold back. And the United States just said no. Like, the thing is, they were already so deep and dependent on the US dollar that when the United States said, no, we will not give you your gold, they just kept going. They just kept using US dollars. So when people say, like, nobody trusts the US dollar, they already tried to get their gold back in the 70s. 1971, right? Richard Nixon, gold standard. We got off the, whatever that name of that system was. Nobody trusts the dollar. Nobody wants the dollar. But the dollar is so widely used and is so ubiquitous and it is everywhere. And I repeat myself, but, like, it is so ubiquitous that there is no second option. And I've said it before, but, like, if the dollar's in first place, in reality, it really is like first and second all the way to like 7th place, and then the euro's in like 8th place. Like, that's how much the dollar dominates the world. And so when you have Trump talking about tariffs, of course, like, the United States is the number one customer. Like, the United States buys everything from everyone. Right? We can't make things here because it's too expensive. The price of labor is too expensive. The standard of living is way too high. So there's no way that anybody's going to be manufacturing things here. And I'm well aware that we manufacture things here. But compared to our imports, it's not even close. So we need to get our dollars out there. It creates dependency for these other countries so that, we just keep printing out money, keep the money velocity up, we keep the system going. We are the number one superpower, not because we produce much, and we produce some, but we don't produce a lot. But everyone being dependent on their dollar just really means that they're dependent on the United States. So, the US dollar domination, like the fact that it dominates so hard, it actually lets us buy all these cheap products. So when you buy a coffee maker at Walmart, when you buy anything at Walmart, really, all those are from other countries. And, when you buy those, you're giving your money to those other countries. Those other countries can then have economic stimulation because they're also just using the dollar. And I know that, when I buy something at Walmart, I give money to Walmart, but Walmart buys it from those countries, essentially. So I know technically it's not that like I'm giving money to China, but that's just how it goes. Like, I essentially am giving money to China. So there's no way out of the US dollar, like in terms of domination. Like the United States dollar will be number one for the serious foreseeable future because there's no replacement, right? There is no second place. The euro is technically in second place, but India's not taking euros in the same way that they're taking the US dollar. Got these YNs out here. So that, like, nobody trusts the dollar. Like, nobody ever did. It was just convenient. Like, the fact that the US dollar was everywhere and that everybody took it and everybody was willing to use it for trade, and they were able to make products, sell it, and all that shit. Like, that's how it's dominating. Like, it's everywhere and everybody will use it. So there's no way out for the US dollar. The US dollar will be here for a while. If China wants to get out of the US dollar, you're gonna have to crash your economy first. Like, the dollar takes 90% of all transactions in the world. So what are you gonna do if you go off the dollar? Use BRICS and then trade with who? Trade with those 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Not South America, my mistake, but what are you gonna do, trade with those guys? Just the 5 countries? No. So, you're just gonna stick with the dollar because there's no way out. So, yeah, that's it. You'll figure it out. Stay woke.